Hey guys, welcome back to Classical Recording. I'm your host Tommy G, and let's get right into it. In today's video, we're going to take an in-depth look at waveforms, what they are, and their different uses. A waveform is the representation of a wave's movement over a given period of time. With audio, we are looking at the movement of sound waves. But to understand why this is important to us, we must first know the different parts of the wave: the crest, trough, wavelength, frequency, and amplitude. The crest of the wave is everything above the point of rest, and the trough is everything below. If we then look at these sections, we can find the amplitude. Amplitude is the amount of displacement from the point of rest to the wave at any given point. If we now look horizontally at any two corresponding parts of the wave, we can find the wavelength. It is this length that then influences the frequency. Frequency is measured as a number of oscillations per second in a unit known as hertz. The wavelength and frequency have an inverse relationship, meaning that as the wavelength gets longer, the frequency goes down. For the purposes of audio recording, the amplitude of the waveform is what is most important to us. It can show a visual representation of the loudness of a track, help us edit our audio precisely, and is used in digitally recording audio. Let's first take a look at how amplitude is used in digital recording. When we create a project in our digital audio workstation, or DAW for short, one of the settings we are presented with is sample rate. But what does this actually do? Well, the sample rate tells our interface how often to measure the amplitude of our signal and translates that into binary code. Your computer then takes this code and constructs the waveform we see using those amplitudes. Once the computer has constructed this into a waveform, we can use it to make seamless edits in our track. Most of the edits in recording classical music happen along points where there is constant sound. If we make these edits without paying attention to amplitude, we will often find that there is an audible pop where we made the edit. If we zoom into the waveform, we will find that the pop is happening because on either side of the edit, the wave's amplitudes are drastically different. If we line these amplitudes up, we often find that the pop goes away and we have a seamless edit. Waveforms and their amplitude are not only used in this way though, they are also used in the distribution of analog media such as AM or FM radio. AM, or amplitude modulation radio, relies on keeping a constant frequency while changing only the amplitude. Your car's tuner then tunes into the frequency of the wave and demodulates it. This demodulated signal is then amplified into the signal that we hear. The process is almost the same for FM, or frequency modulation radio, except instead of the amplitude being modulated, it's now the frequency that is modulated. Along with recording and media delivery, waveforms are also used in the medical field. In X-ray machines, a concentrated beam of electrons creates a waveform with a frequency so high it's even above the waves of visible light. These waves can then be passed through our skin and organs, but they can't go through our bones. Because of this, we can pass the waves through a person and onto a sheet of fluorescent paper, creating an outline of our bone structure. This technology was discovered in 1895 by Wilhelm Röntgen. And because of this technology, many problems have been able to be found in humans without the need for surgery. So guys, if you enjoyed this week's video about waveforms, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.